not all rare cars end up crossing the auction block at Barrett-Jackson. While it might seem as though any automobile built in small numbers inevitably ends up with a high price tag, there are actually a handful of uncommon modern vehicles out there that are available to non-millionaires seeking to drive something out of the ordinary. These rare cars are appealing based on the scarcity, their performance, or in some cases, the unusual circumstances surrounding their production. Regardless, each of the vehicles on this list virtually guarantee that you'll never park beside yourself at the local mall. Let's look at the stories behind 10 rare cars that you can actually buy. Chrysler Crossfire SRT 6. The merger between Chrysler and Mercedes-Benz bore some unusual fruit, not the least of which was the Chrysler Crossfire SRT 6. Built between 2005 and 2006 and available as both a coupe and a roadster, the Chrysler Crossfire rode on a platform borrowed from Mercedes-Benz SLK class, and it also stole an AMG-tuned 3.2-liter V6 engine that was supercharged to produce 330 horsepower and 310 pounds of torque. Polarizing styling and the fact that consumers in Chrysler at the time had ebbed to a serious low meant very few of these vehicles ever made into private hands. If you're looking for a used one today, there are definite bargains to be had. Toyota RAV4 EV. The first generation Toyota RAV4 EV did get nearly the same amount of press that the Japanese brand's other electric champion, the Prius, did when it was released during roughly the same period. Part of this had to do with the Toyota RAV4 EV only being available in California as part of the state's zero-emission regulatory structure. Over the years, however, the RAV4 EV spread out across the country since Toyota had no way of controlling second-hand sales. Estimates today are that a little more than a third of the electric SUVs that were produced live on, offering eco-fans 95 miles of driving on a single charge at speeds of up to 78 miles per hour. BMW 1 Series M Coupe. The BMW 1M is one of the pricier entries on this list, as it's perhaps the only one of these rare cars that actually trades above its initial window sticker. Only built for a single model year 2011, the BMW 1 Series M Coupe, or 1M as it is sometimes known, combines a 3.0-liter turbocharged straight-six engine, a 6-speed manual transmission, and a relatively lightweight platform outfitted with big brakes and a track-ready suspension system. Although not a true M car, the BMW 1M's low numbers, less than 1,000 made it to the North America, means you'll have to look long and hard for an owner who's willing to give theirs up. Cadillac CT-SV Sport Wagon. The Cadillac CT-SV Sport Wagon is a gratifying juxtaposition of two automotive tropes: muscular performance and familiar-friendly practicality that are seldom seen together. The least likely member of the second-generation Cadillac CT-SV family that also saw coupe and sedan editions. The CT-SV Sport Wagon presented buyers with 556 horsepower and 551 horsepower from a 6.2-liter supercharged V8. The option of a 6-speed manual or a 6-speed automatic transmission also added to the Sport Wagon's appeal, but unlike the 2- and 4-door models, it became a special order only, which means the later you delve into its production run, the harder it is to find. Saab 92X Aero. The Saab 92X Aero isn't only rare, it's also a car that very few people were even aware existed during its brief 2005 and 2006 moment in Saab showrooms. Thanks to a bizarre corporate synergy that saw parent corporation General Motors farm out entry-level hatchback production for Saab to Subaru. The 92X is a little more than a rebadged WRX. This gives it a 2.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that's good for up to 230 horsepower and 235 pounds of torque, matched with either a 5-speed manual or 4-speed automatic gearbox. Like its Subaru twin, the 92X Aero also features a standard all-wheel drive system and respectable handling for its price. Alfa Romeo 4C. The all-new 2015 Alfa Romeo 4C isn't cheap, but it's nowhere near as expensive as its gorgeous Italian looks suggest. Built around a carbon fiber tub and boasting a mid-engine setup that squeezes 237 horsepower and 258 pounds of torque out of 1.75 liters of displacement, the Alfa Romeo 4C provides lightweight and simple approach to sports car fun. It's also the first Alfa Romeo to be sold in the United States in a number of years, and very few examples will be made available to the public. It's not an investment-grade collectible, but it's definitely an uncommon car that will only cost you the MSRP of loaded mid-size BMW sedan. Ford Mustang Boss 302 Laguna Seca. The Ford Mustang Boss 302 was a limited production road racing version of the popular pony car that was produced for the 2012 and 2013 model years. An even smaller subset of these track-oriented coupes, the Ford Mustang Boss 302 Laguna Seca, adds more bite to what was already an impressive package. In addition to a 444 horsepower version of the Mustang's 5.0-liter V8 engine, the Laguna Seca includes a Torsen limited slip rear differential, unique suspension tuning, Recaro Sport seats up front, and no seats in the back at all. Only 1,500 of these Mustangs were sold, making them seldom seen either on the street or your local road course. Acura NSX. A lot of ink, both digital and otherwise, has been spent in an effort to communicate how transfixing the performance of the Acura NSX sports car was when it was initially released back in 1991. Although not a barn burner by modern standards, what with 270 horsepower and 210 pounds of torque available from a 3.0-liter V6, the Acura NSX reliability, supernatural handling capabilities, and exotic looks kept it in production until 2005. The NSX has held its value well, but it's not like you're looking at Ferrari money to own a car like this one that, in many important ways, matched its Italian cohort of the day. The Pontiac Solstice GXB Coupe. Did you know that Pontiac made a Targa roof coupe cousin to the Solstice GXB Roadster? If so, you're in the minority, as GM's looming bankruptcy eclipsed almost all of Pontiac's advertising when the Pontiac Solstice GXB Coupe was begat unto the world in 2009. With more arresting looks as compared to the less sleek convertible, the Solstice GXP Coupe also delivers solid performance thanks to its 2.0-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, 260 horsepower and 260 pounds of torque. It made the Pontiac as fitting Viking funeral for the brand. BMW M Coupe. The second BMW on our list of rare cars you can actually buy has a very similar name to the first. The BMW M Coupe predated the 1 Series M Coupe by over a decade, making use of the Z3 Roadster and Coupe platform to create one of the wildest models built by the automaker to that point. Initially, the BMW M Coupe was motivated by a 2.5-liter, 240 horsepower straight 6, but for 2001 and 2002, it received an upgrade in the form of 321 horsepower, 3.2-liter 6-cylinder that would later find life in the next generation BMW M3. What other rare cars do you know? Comment down below. And also don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And by the way, check out our channel for more videos like this. And as always, see you on the next video.